Hey guys, this is Bharadwaj with PhoneArena.com, and what I have here in my hands is the newly launched Samsung Galaxy Tab S 10.5. You might have seen the hands-on and even the 8.4 version first impressions, but this video is all about the 10.5-inch version, and as you might have known already, S stands for Super AMOLED and that's the screen. The 10.5-inch screen has a resolution of 2560 by 1600 and that's the main USP, and of course this is a premium top-end tablet that's meant to compete directly with the iPad Air. At least that's what Samsung hopes. So we are going to take a first look and I'm going to tell you my first impressions because this is the first time I'm using this device, and also an overview of the hardware and the software of this device. So let's go ahead into the video. So let's start with the design, which is pretty obvious when you look at it. It's pretty much the 10-inch tablet with Samsung Galaxy S5 design, and that's very apparent when you take a look at the back, which has the perforated design that the S5 carries. It's much better than the plastic that Samsung used to use. Not maybe as good as the Note 3 perhaps, but then this is much better and more premium looking than the older glossy plastics. So that's the main design language that they use, and that's pretty good, I guess. The Galaxy S5 doesn't really move away from the usual S3 design, but it looks much better than what it was before. Like for example, Samsung used to have these glossy plastic tablets with the S3 design. That's much better now. So you have one more thing that's very significant, and that's the dimensions. So this tablet is again very thin and very light. As you can see, this measures just 6.6 millimeters and weighs around 490 grams, which is very less and almost as good as the iPad Air in terms of dimensions, even though it's much bigger with a 10.5-inch screen and a 16:10 aspect ratio. But in fact, it helps a little bit in terms of weight balance. It's easier to still hold it in the one hand, and even in two hands, it's very comfortable. So that's a good thing, and the rounded corners indeed help. So coming back to the display, it's really sharp and really good. Not as sharp as the 8.4 one, but it's still very good because it's Super AMOLED and has the 2560 by 1600 resolution, making it really good. But the refresh rate, as you can see, even though our camera is set using the usual settings, is I guess higher than usual on the tablet display. This we noted in the Galaxy S5 too. Now other things like the internals are pretty much the same as the 8.4. In fact, everything is the same except for the screen size and the design and the whole look. So on the inside, it has a 1.9 GHz Cortex A15 quad-core processor and is coupled with a 1.3 GHz Cortex A7 processor. That's the octa-core Exynos chip that does support FDD LTE, which is not here in India yet, but it is LTE ready, as Samsung says. And the best thing is that this is fully feature packed, so feature packed that you can even make calls and SMSs on this device. So pretty crazy for a 10-inch tablet, but apparently people want to do it on all their devices, and that's why Samsung is providing them the option. So let's take a quick hardware walkthrough of this 10.5-inch device. On the front, 2560 by 1600 as mentioned earlier, and there are the buttons here as usual. In the middle, I wish they were kept on the sides or something, but that's okay. So that's the home button hardware, back, and the multitasking switcher, which replaces the contextual menu button from before. Over at the top, you have the 2.1 megapixel front-facing camera that will be useful for Skype calls and all that. And then, of course, you have the usual ambient light sensor and such. Now, moving on to the right, you have a lot of slots here. Let's go through them one by one. Over at the left, you have the SIM card slot. And this is the micro SD card slot. This is the micro USB port, which is actually thicker than the whole device. That's why you have extra bulge here. And of course, this is one of the two stereo speaker units. Now moving to the bottom, you have just the microphone here, which is the primary microphone. And then over at the left, You have the other speaker grill and the 3.5 mm audio jack, which again is thicker than the whole device. Moving to the top, we have the IR LED blaster that will help with the TV control and even AC control and such. And then there is the power lock switch and the volume rocker at the top. Moving to the back, you have the 8 megapixel camera with the Samsung logo, the LED flash below, and then nothing else. You have some regulatory information, that's about it. Now if you're wondering what these buttons are for, these are for the book cover case that Samsung is releasing soon. So it will be available in the stores, and they did show us, but unfortunately we couldn't get it to show for you. But it does work really well. It keeps the device's profile really thin and really adds that executive look to the device. So that's the book cover, and this will help in mechanically attaching it, or rather magnetically. We'll let you know when that when we get the cover, but that's how it gets stuck. So there are two button-like things. These are not buttons, but they are for the book cover. So that's pretty nice. Now moving back to the software aspect of this device, you can see that Samsung has indeed changed the UI a little bit. So it's more easily accessible. Your file manager is just one touch away. Your app list is one touch away, and of course the widgets are arranged much better, and pretty good that Samsung has done at least something about the UI, because Google doesn't give anything about it, because the Nexus 10 had a horrible UI. You had to go into the center for the app list, and you still have the notification bar at the top, which is very unintuitive. And Samsung actually had this magazine UI that they showed off with the Tab Pro and the Note Pro, but then they gave it away for the usual interface because of Google's advice or something like that. But still, we would say that they have done a pretty good job in terms of the UI, much better than the stock Android UI that's for tablets. Now in terms of software, it's obvious that Samsung is making this device for the enterprise. So 10-inch tablets are usually only for the enterprise mostly, because it's where the bigger screen productivity happens and is very portable. So Samsung has added apps like the remote desktop, the side sync, which Samsung showed off, which is pretty much like handoff. Basically you have the whole phone UI on the screen, and you can navigate the phone, which works via Wi-Fi direct. So pretty much like wireless screen control from the tablet. Could be useful for a lot of people. And there is also the remote PC, which you can use by connecting this to a Bluetooth keyboard or mouse, and then use it as a PC, as a full-fledged Windows PC. The 10.5-inch screen definitely helps, and there are other enterprise level apps like WebEx and all that. So that's Samsung's whole play at this device. That's the whole core idea. If you ask us, it's a premium top-end tablet, a 10-inch tablet that will work well with the enterprise. They have the Knox security suite, which has encryption and all that. So all those enterprise focused things, and this makes much more sense than the 8.4 because of the screen estate itself. The 8.4, as you have seen, is pretty much a portrait tablet. You can see from the button combination and all that, but the 10.5 inches tablet is definitely landscape and pretty much resembles a laptop more than a tablet. We wish that Samsung had its own keyboard attachment accessory like its Ativ range, but unfortunately that's not happening. But at least you get some support via USB OTG, and of course Bluetooth does work. So anyway, that's our quick look at this device. We have a lot more to show, and we will be making more videos, so stay tuned to our channel. Do subscribe and do hit the like button if you like this video. And also you can let us know what you think about this device and what you want us to show you in the comment section below. We'll be responding to your comments, of course, and we'll take feedback. So that's about it for the video, first impressions video of the Tab S10.5. Thanks for watching, and let us know again what you think in the comment section below.